Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Lilani Grace podcast. Today's guest is super cool. She used to be a full-time lawyer and has now transitioned to being an online entrepreneur. She's a mom. She's been traveling the world. This is Nikita, although she goes by Nikki online. Welcome, Nikki.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much. I just expressed to you that I'm a little bit nervous because this is my first time ever being asked to do a podcast. But I'm going to keep it as real as possible. My biggest thing in life is that being open and honest and transparent. As you ask me the questions, my answers are just going to flow as I feel them coming out. So thank you so
Perfect.
much for inviting me.
Of course. I'm so excited. So tell me a little bit about what was your thought process behind becoming a lawyer in the first place?
Okay, so sometimes I feel like I didn't have a thought process. I don't know. So I always wanted to become a doctor. So
Okay.
let me back it up a little bit. I come from like an Asian background, and if you know anything about Asian backgrounds, it's always like go to school, get a degree, and then land like one of the highest paying jobs, right?
Right.
And when you think about that in real life, that's either a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer.
Hmm.
Right? So, like, I kind of took out of those 3 picks, I kinda took a pick for myself, really,
Yeah.
and try to fit myself in one of those buckets. I remember in college, organic chemistry was really difficult, and that's the moment where I was like, "Okay, doctor and engineer is out of the bucket," and it was literally like, "Okay, I'm really good at negotiating." I was really good at, like, selling things all the way
Okay.
in life. Like, I was the oldest, around the home. So I was the oldest daughter of 3, and, like, anytime something needed to get negotiated, any calls to make, any conflicts or anything like that, I feel like people would come to me, and it was like I had this natural innate ability to be able to negotiate, to speak, to, like, sell things on Facebook Marketplace.
Nice.
And it was like, okay, it kind of fit in my brain. And
Hmm.
then, yeah, a doctor and engineer kind of didn't fit in. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So you're kind of predestined to be like a high-powered woman.
I think so. I mean, if you know anything about like oldest like child, they say there's like a syndrome. The oldest child in a family is just raised a little bit differently. I
Yeah.
saw my parents working multiple jobs and they were not educated. So their biggest goal
Okay.
was to get me and my sisters educated here. Being first generation, it was just like, okay, I knew I was going to go to school, higher education and stuff.
Hmm.
I just didn't have it all figured out. I remember when I got into law school, the tuition payment was due like in like 48 hours for me to accept admission to go that year. Otherwise, I would be going the following year. And we scrambled. My dad helped scramble to pay for tuition that first semester because it was like, okay, I don't want to waste another year, right? So it's like
Right.
I always knew, but I felt like every single time the path was not so clear. It's like sometimes like crazy decisions had to be made within like 48 hours. Like I seriously remember accepting to go to law school within 48 hours.
Wow. So
Yeah.
did you enjoy being a lawyer?
So again, so like I kind of like figured out the path as I went around, right? So like
Hmm.
law school was very tough in itself.
No
The bar
kidding.
exam was really tough. And then after that, school is nothing like what real life is.
No.
Right? Like when it comes to like any career, right? School is nothing like what real life is. So like I really enjoyed the lifestyle and being able to learn from high functioning individuals. So when I got out of law school, it was my mission. Like I had friends that were making 60, 70,000. I knew I was capable for more.
Hmm.
And then second of all, I knew I wanted to be in high functioning rooms. So there's something called in the United States, there's top 100 law firms. So it was my
Okay.
goal to like be working at one of the top 100 law firms because I wanted to learn from the best of the best. So it's like I really in the beginning was like networking a lot, setting myself apart and really really trying to get into that higher functioning bucket as soon as I graduated law school. And then like in this past 6 years that I've been a lawyer, it's been a lot of learning, but it's been super exciting. A lot of people don't realize is like whether you're a lawyer or a doctor, you're just a normal person that's working a normal 9 to 5. It doesn't have to be a lawyer, a doctor, or an engineer, right? You learn skills on the job
Hmm.
in every industry that can be transferable somewhere else, right? You don't have to be a doctor or an engineer to try something new, right? So I loved being a lawyer because I learned really high functioning skills and things
Yeah.
like that. I was in great rooms, but I was towards the end, I'll be honest, was getting very burnt out, 50 to 70-hour weeks.
Oh my
I was
goodness.
not seeing my daughter enough.
Yeah.
And I had kind of worked in a high functioning environment. I have worked for top 100 law firms for the past 6 years. And I was like, okay, I kind of need a change, right? It
Mhm.
doesn't mean that I'm giving up on myself or I failed or anything like that. It's just that I can allow myself to change and pivot.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's kind of the phase I am right now because I do prioritize like my time with my daughter. I realize
Mhm.
that she's going to go to school soon. She's going to be 5 in like 2 years.
Oh
And then
wow.
she's on a routine. She's on the same cycle, go to school, get a
Yeah.
degree, you know, like if that's what she wants to do. But like our times are limited with our loved ones, right? So it's like,
Absolutely.
I really was like, okay, I can allow myself to do something different or try
Mhm.
something new for the first time in life.
And in the States, you really don't get much of a maternity leave, do you?
Well, I had a really decent job, so I had about 6 months, which is
Okay.
still really generous compared to a couple
Yeah.
like, other people in the United States, so I'm thankful for that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy to me because in Canada, it's a year.
Yeah, it's a year by default, yeah, but in the
Yeah.
United States, I'm actually one of the lucky ones.
Yeah.
I have a handful of friends at our religious center that got a couple of months only and are off to, working.
That's so
Their
sad.
kids have been in daycare since, like, 3, 4 months old, and, like, I've been lucky where my husband had a decent paternity leave as well, so,
Oh,
like, my daughter
good.
went to daycare at, like, 11 or 12 months, so
Nice.
pretty decent.
Yeah, that's a really good start for being in the US for sure.
Yeah.
So then you went back to work. How long did you work after your daughter was born?
So I worked for so she's about to be 3,
Mhm.
and I just quit about 4 months ago, so
Wow.
for a good 2.5 years, right? So
Yeah.
I did try to juggle everything in the air, but there after 6 years, you just hit a point of burnout, right?
No
Like,
kidding.
you just don't you wanna try something new, you hit a point of burnout, you kinda question everything, and yeah, every day is not easy either, right? So it's
No.
like, when you work, as, a high corporate, paying job, right? And
Mhm.
I'm talking, like, multi six figures, the additional pressure is not from anyone else but you, right? Like, you
Yeah.
have been married to this identity, and I've recently been reading this book, like, Don't Believe Everything You Think, right?
Yeah.
Have you read that book
I
before?
haven't yet, but I want to. I've heard good
It's so
things about
short
it.
and it's such a nice read.
Yeah.
And don't be fooled, like, this is my husband's bookshelf, I don't read this much, like, this is a whole, like, there's a lot going on here, but this is my husband's bookshelf. This is, like, the only quiet place I got in my house, but Don't Believe Everything You Think, I've been reading that lately, and it's just, like, when you work any industry, right, any corporate job, it doesn't have to be a lawyer or a doctor, you tend to marry that identity
Yeah.
over time. You're like, "Oh, I am I went to school to be a lawyer. I went to school to be a doctor. I went to school to be a nurse. I am going to do that for the rest of my life. And even though I'm miserable, I'm going to figure it out." That is what
Mhm.
most people's like mentality is. And that was my
Yeah.
mentality. I paid so much to go to law school. I'm still in debt for law school. I
Mhm.
must figure it out,
Right.
right? I must figure it out. And it's like we put so much constant pressure on ourselves that this is the only way to go in life.
Mhm.
And we kind of also shame ourselves at the same time, thinking that, oh, something must be wrong with me. I don't like this. Like, why did I pick this? Or something must be wrong with me. I must figure it out. And day by
Mhm.
day, we just drag ourselves out of bed to earn a paycheck that we really don't like being at or the profession that we're in just because we think about the sunk cost fallacy. I don't know if you've heard of it,
Yeah.
but you've already put so much time, money, resources into becoming that identity that you end up kind of forcing yourself to kind of fit in that box,
Yeah, you feel
really.
like you can't get out because you've already invested so much time and money and I mean that's what you're good at, so you feel like you have to stay in that box. So what kind
Yep.
of led you towards becoming your own self-led entrepreneur?
So I actually saw a mom about last year kind of posting on social media, right?
Mhm.
Talking about digital marketing. So I got into the whole digital marketing realm, believing that I would make multi five figures like my first month. by reselling courses, right? And
Yeah.
nothing against reselling courses and nothing against like selling education, right? Education
Mhm.
is super, super important. That's how, if that mom had not posted, if that mom had not invested in the course herself, not posted about it, obviously I wouldn't be here, right? So I don't
Right.
discount that. But I was, I kind of got into the online space watching her. I was faceless for 11 months. I was
Mhm.
still working at my law firm job. And I was slowly starting to see that there is a model out there. There are legitimate businesses out there, even digital marketing, right?
Yep.
Legitimate businesses out there that where I don't have to trade every hour to get some sort of income or some return. And
Yes.
that just shifted my perception about life. Just completely, you know, so being a corporate individual is nice because you have everything is nice and stable. You have a good paying job and things like that. Obviously, if you're thinking about, the ideal situation, you're not thinking about layoffs or anything like that.
Yeah.
But you kind of marry yourself in this identity once again, where it's like everybody else that looks different from you is in a scam or in a
Mhm.
non-legitimate way of earning online. That
Yep.
is was my perception because you perceive yourself to be here and anybody who was online, and I'm being super real. Like I thought everybody, I was like, that's not legit. I am
Yeah.
not going to crowd. I'm First of all, I'm not an influencer. Second of all, like what is the viability for these business models, right? Like how are these people actually making money without any degrees, any experiences? Like why, like, am I stupid that I went to law school? Right? That's how, so I used to like kind of look down upon
Yeah.
online business models. It's because in my entire 33 years, I've been kind of programmed to think that I must go to school. I
Mhm.
must go get a degree. I must go get a high paying job. And that is the only way to climb the ladder, right? Like I was the perfect example of that. Anybody less than that, I would look kind of down upon, right? Or like at least not like in a mean way, but in my brain,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh no, I would doubt. I would have so much doubt and skepticism, right? So when I kind of joined, it took me about 4 months to even buy a $500 course. I'll be
Yeah.
honest. It's not that I didn't have $500 in my bank account. It's just I was so skeptical and so doubtful that you could potentially earn money through digital marketing, right? And slowly, as things evolved, I found the high ticket affiliate marketing, a business model that we're part of, and that just opened my eyes even more. That there's a system out there where mutually you can earn, and like the team sales benefit you. And I was
Yep.
just like mind blown because slowly my perception started to change. That not every hour of mine that I work behind a desk has to be traded for a
Yes.
paycheck. Right? Like, even though I'm not at a point in my business right now where it doesn't match my past corporate salary,
Mhm.
I have seen plenty of examples of where it has exceeded my corporate salary. And it just mind boggles me because these people don't have degrees, they don't have experiences or anything like that. It's just they've mastered these skills over time, right? So
Yeah.
that was the biggest perception shift for me. Me realizing that I don't have to trade every hour of my time to make money here. I've
Mhm.
literally made money like I've
While
made
on vacation?
while on vacation, and I can count these moments because I don't take them for granted. I really don't take them for granted,
Yeah.
and I can remember like how I was feeling in that moment because I've never ever experienced that, right? And I've pushed against my own skepticism and my own doubts and stuff, but like I remember like I came back from Disney vacation and I had 10 or 11 checks in hand totaling like
Wow.
$3,000, right? From Disney vacation. And
Mhm.
I didn't do anything related to business on my
Yeah.
Disney vacation. I came back from India after spending, first I actually went to China, Singapore, then India. So I was out for a good month and a half. My mother-in-law has been home luckily, so she's been gathering all my checks and stuff for
Oh,
this business
nice.
opportunity in like a nice envelope. I come home and again, like 12 checks, right, in the mail,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, this is proof again and again to me that I don't need to be in my business. I don't need to be on all the time. Like we do
Mhm.
need to be where we are in most jobs, where we trade our hour for hour for dollar for dollar. So
Yeah. It's hard to overcome that thinking when that's what you've been conditioned to think. Plus, the online space is still so new. Yeah, it's been around for a couple years, but like most normal people, most corporate people, most 9 to 5ers don't understand that business model because, again, it's so new. So we look at it and we see people making on money and we're like, but is that real? And then you start looking into it more and educating yourself on it. And you realize, okay, there are some legit business models. Yes, of course, there are always going to be scams out there, but it's about finding the right fit for you, finding the right product, the right thing. And once you find that, you can make fire money just being online. And yeah, you have to put some work in up front and then it just builds from there, which is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely eye-opening for me, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I would say the worst enemy is just you and yourself. That is it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
you and yourself, right? I battle every single day with myself, right? Like leaving a multi six-figure job behind, right? And my husband has been the best support in
That's
reminding me
awesome.
that you spent 6 years, not even six. You spent what, 4 years in college, 3 years in law school, right? So that's 7 years plus 6 years practicing as an intern, and you spent
Yeah.
13 years to craft your art to then make multi six figures, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, don't you're comparing apples to oranges.
Right.
You're 6 months into a business and you've crossed multi five figures, and
That's amazing.
that's not good enough for you. Like he's like,
You're still a baby in this space.
so he reminds me every single day because I'm so hard on myself. So it's like,
Yeah.
you're your worst enemy, especially if you're like a you come from like high functioning corporate jobs where you're always on, your brain is always on, you're always on, you're working 70, 80 hours sometimes. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's always like go, go, go. So it's like sometimes when you try to kind of put that pressure on yourself here in an online business, it's like it backfire, right?
Yeah.
You sometimes will not, no matter how great the model is, you're not gonna make like, $300,000 in 6 months, right? Like the normal person won't. But
Yeah.
on average, you will definitely be, if your goal is like, I'm a brand new person in the online space. If
Mm.
your goal is to make that 2 to 5K or that 10K, even as a complete beginner, it's possible. It's
Yep.
possible, right?
Yeah.
Like, right? And I think people just get hung up on just saying that first yes. They are so much in
Mm-hmm.
analysis paralysis. And I was going to go back to the book, like, don't believe everything you think. That one, there's a couple of chapters in there that talk about the difference between a thought and thinking. So, like, when we have a thought, it's like, I'm going to post this piece of content. I'm going to reach out to this person. It's just a simple thought, right? I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
do this, right? XYZ task, right? And then when we start to think about that, that's when it doesn't get done, right? It's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to post is a thought, right?
Yeah.
And I do this all the time. But my thinking brain, well, what are people going to think? I have friends on
Mm-hmm.
my page and I sometimes stop. I'm being honest. I sometimes stop from thinking. I was like, oh, they're at my religious center. What are they going to think about me? They've perceived me as a lawyer all these 6 years, right? These 7 years, right? And
Yeah.
now suddenly I'm just like a random person online. I'm trying to be an influencer. Like, is that what they're going to think?
That's a
And
huge
it's like,
shift.
it's a huge shift, right, for your brain. So it's
Yeah.
like this book is like amazing where I try to remind myself every day, try to stay in the thought zone.
Mm-hmm.
Try to say if you have a thought that you're going to post, post. If you're going to reach out to this person, reach out to this person, right? Rather than thinking about that and that not getting done.
Yeah. And then you start overthinking and then you start, oh, yeah, I've been there.
And yeah, you are your own worst enemy day to day, right?
Absolutely.
So I just want to encourage people to like find their circle of like people, whether it's like your spouse, a friend in the online space, and you'll find plenty of people in the online community as well that will really uplift you.
Oh,
I've had
absolutely.
I'll say I have more people in the online community that I've met, women, that
Yeah.
have uplifted me, send me great messages, and like kind of
Yes.
cheered me on, whether it's my first $1,000 that I've made or my first 500 or like, crossing crazy milestones as well, right? Multi five figures. It's not random now, but it's like these women online that will support each other through all these things and not even friends. Like friends will scroll right
Oh,
past
yeah.
by,
Well, they
right?
don't get it.
And it's just like I sometimes I used to tell my husband, I was like, "Why doesn't like, like they don't get it?" And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Well, not everyone is meant to get it, right?
Exactly. It's not for everyone.
Everyone."
That's the thing. Everyone can do it, but it's not for everyone.
Mhm. You have to have some sort of like, yeah, it really, like, it took me and he questions me too. How long did it take you to kind of go in the online space, right? How
Hmm.
long did it take you to kind of accept things? You still struggle every day, right? When
Yeah.
you are not, posting every day because you're thinking what someone else is gonna think about you, right? So,
Hmm.
kind of appreciating that, and then kind of meeting people where they are at,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So
So I want to backtrack a little bit. So you were still doing your lawyer job while you were starting this. How did you find the time and the motivation to get started?
So, I mean, for me, it's like when I see other people succeeding in a business model, like I think I have FOMO. Like you know how people watch from the sidelines, they watch your stories over and over and over and they
Yeah.
do nothing about it.
Yeah.
I think I can't do that. Like I need to know now the information. I will set up a call with you, whatever you need me to do to get me the information about this business model. I will do it now. And then I will really try to because if I don't make a decision soon enough, then I'm not the type of person that will continue to watch your stories, right? So
Hmm.
I said yes because I was introduced to this opportunity by Rachel. I was following her for a really, really long time. And I knew that she was a credible coach in this space, right? And
Hmm.
she was doing this and I was watching her stories. I automatically set up a call. And I remember it was July that was introduced to this opportunity. And I immediately got on that I think it was like a 20-minute informational call.
Yeah.
And I immediately like made a decision within 24 hours.
Hmm.
24 hours. I remember saying yes because I wanted to be part of a system, a business model where it was focused on team collaboration, team sales, and it was not me hustling by myself, right?
Yes.
Though I had crossed, I think $15,000 or like, 5 figures in the digital marketing space, I was hustling a lot by myself. So when
Right.
this came to me, the way it was presented, it was kind of like a no-brainer to me. And the other big reason why I said yes is like I was like this, I'm no tax professional or anything like that, but this was going to be the avenue for me to kind of open up my own LLC and be a business write-off. Like it was a tax write-off. And
Yeah.
with a high-paying job, especially if you're working in a corporate job, if you're making anywhere above like, 70, 80, $100,000, it absolutely makes no sense for you not to say yes to this opportunity because I was like, this is a tax write off. Even if I don't do anything, this is an automatic tax write off for me, right?
Right.
And the benefits of that. So that's kind of twofold of kind of how I said yes. First, I kind of wanted a little bit more of a team collaboration kind of system and things like that. And where it's like all of my income in the online space was not only dependent on me. Whereas when I was selling courses and I was doing digital marketing, it was all hustle by myself, right?
Hmm.
And so that's number one. And the second biggest reason, I'll be honest, is like, again, money wins, right? Like money wise, I was like, this is going to help me save money for taxes. So,
So where did you find the time while working your lawyer job to start an online business?
so I was essentially like, I was working over the weekends, I would say. My husband was super supportive. He was taking care of my daughter. Every Saturday, have a ritual to go to Costco and kind of take her out of the house for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
So I would just sit with a cup of coffee and I would really focus on preparing content and that is the time that I would slowly pour in, right?
Okay.
And it really didn't take that much effort in the beginning because I was posting a story slide here or there. Now like and so I and then one other thing is like I highly recommend using like specialized like ChatGPT type tools and things like that, like AI tools. It really helps you craft your story. So if
Hmm.
I told I have a specialized version of ChatGPT, but if I told it like this is what's happened in my week so far, write me up a story, it would really help me with my content preparation and things like that as well.
Nice.
Obviously, at the end of the day, you don't want to sound robotic
Yes.
and you want to kind of I also used to kind of show my face or kind of talk my with my talking videos without showing my face and things like that, but
Hmm.
you want to kind of use AI tools and things like that to be able to help you save time and things like that. So don't shy away from that. So that's kind of how I kind of tweaked it in.
Yeah.
Obviously I was giving it maybe I would say probably 5 to 7 hours in a week on top
It's
while
not
I was
bad.
working as well. And you'll be honest with yourself. Seriously, go take a look at your and I'm going to call people out, but like I have people, friends, right? On my social media, one of the first people to watch my stories, right? And they work jobs, right? How do you
Hmm.
have time? please go take a
Yeah.
look at your Instagram insights. How much time you're actually spending on Instagram?
Just
Because I
scrolling.
swear, if I had time while I was working my full-time law job, you probably have time as well. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
this in a demeaning way or anything like that. Please go check your insights. If you're at least spending like 2 hours per day, or even if it's 2 hours per week, I think 2 hours per week is not doable
That's
by
still time
anybody.
to put in work.
That's still time to put in your business and your online business. And
Yeah.
I was just telling my husband the other day, I said, I'm never, ever going to go back to the other side of Instagram. It's such a dark side. It's like I was posting my daughter's pictures, my vacation pictures and stuff to what? Get likes from people, to get comments
Yeah.
from people, to feel better about myself for a vacation that I took every like 3 months. Like, great. And I literally call it the dark side of Instagram because it's like you feel great when your friends are commenting. Like, what are you accomplishing there? You're not really accomplishing
Nothing.
anything there.
Yeah.
Here, I feel so empowered every single day to wake up, to realize that I'm either, first of all, setting out a different path for myself, potentially
Mhm.
for my daughter, right? Yes, she can go to school. Yes, she can do whatever she wants, but for her to know that there's a different avenue out there to make money online, right?
Yeah.
And that there's flexibility afforded in life, right? And then the second thing is the amount of women that I've been able to help just by speaking up, right?
Yes.
Help them earn money.
Yeah.
It's just like you can't do that in any sort of job. Like that impact you cannot create.
It
So,
makes
right,
you feel really good knowing that you're helping other people in that way. Hey.
I've helped women on my team from Australia. Like the internet knows no boundaries,
I know, it's
right?
crazy.
It's absolutely crazy what happens when you start to speak up, when you start to just kind of present yourself out there. And it's scary. It's scary. I was faceless for 11 months. And I think I was faceless. Part of it was I had my face on a law firm. But
Mhm.
even after my face came off of the law firm page, it was still so much like internal battle of not wanting to be seen. It's
Yeah.
so difficult being seen, right? So yeah, I think I digressed, but yeah, this is the lighter side of Instagram, right?
Yes.
Like not
You
only
know
are you
when you're
making
posting, you're
money
making money and you're helping people.
and you're helping people.
That's way better than posting your kids or your vacation and just hoping that your friends, like, press that little like button. So what?
I
Who
mean, I'm
cares?
still
Like, that's
posting that. I'm
yeah.
still posting that, but it's like I'm weaving it in and I'm inspiring other women to make money online.
Yeah, it's amazing. So I think we're going to wrap up this segment, but you are going to come back
Okay.
and we're going to talk about actually a new opportunity that I just joined that you're a part of, right?
Yes, I'm super excited about that.
Me too. I just signed up, what was it, like 3 or 4 days ago? And I'm already so fired up about this new opportunity. I am still doing the old opportunity, but adding another source of income is never a bad thing.
Yes, agreed. Like multiple income streams is where it's at, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know what my future will lie. I don't know if I'll go back to corporate. I don't know if I'll go part-time, but all I know, like I was recently talking to my husband, I was like, I am not going to leave this side of the Instagram because it's like once you see it, once you see and feel that you can make money without trading every hour, you cannot unsee it. You
Yeah.
cannot unsee it. Like last night, like I just, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but like I just crossed another milestone
Yes, I saw
in
that.
this second income stream as well. And what was I doing when I crossed that milestone, right? I was at the religious center for straight 12 hours. We had a huge prayer night at
Mhm.
the religious center. So again, like over and over, whether you're at your Disney vacation, I've earned money while in India, while in China, while in Singapore.
That's
I've
amazing.
I've earned money while spending time with my family in Texas, my husband's family in Texas. I've earned money while I've literally been connecting with myself, connecting with God. Like yeah, I cannot unsee the fact that you don't need to be in your business. You don't need to be
Yeah.
behind a desk, trade every hour to make an income in
Yeah.
this day and age, at least.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing. Well, thank you so
Like,
much for your time. Thank you for this wonderful conversation. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.
thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I made the cut to come back. I was so nervous.
Yeah. What is your Instagram handle so that people can find you?
It's laws like lawyer, so
Mhm.
LAWSTO. Digital wealth. So laws to digital wealth. I'm really bad. I still have a faceless image on there, but I promise I will put my face forward image on there soon. But you'll see a blue logo. Yeah. I've recently also crossed like 2,000 followers. So
Nice.
that is exciting. I literally
Awesome.
started from 0 followers. I started an absolutely
That's
brand new page
amazing.
with no family or friends knowing, blocking everybody. But I've now slowly started to introduce some friends and family on the space because I realized I told myself, my husband tells me every single day, is that you have a light to share. You
Mhm.
have something to share here, right?
Yeah.
You're not, you have something to share here. So share it with conviction, right?
Yeah.
And whoever sees that is going to join along. And whoever doesn't, they're going to continue to watch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I truly feel like I would be doing a disservice now if I didn't kind of, show up.
Yeah.
So I truly, truly appreciate you kind of inviting me out here as well and giving me a chance to kind of express myself as well. So
Of course. Thank you so much for coming on. If any of the listeners have any questions about our online businesses, feel free to reach out to myself or Nikki/Nikita. I will have her handle down below in the show notes. And thank you once again for coming on.
thank you so much.
Okay.